Whew, okay, so this is like the third time I've tried to film this. There's been one problem after another, so let's see if I can get this done correctly. So you're all probably wondering, where we've been, like why we haven't done any videos, right? If you've been following us on Instagram, then you'll know it's because early in January, I started feeling some discomfort in my shoulder, and I announced that I was going to be taking a few days off, gonna be careful, heal before trying to play again. Just chalked it up to practicing a little bit too much in the days before, working on kind of a harder piece, so thought, take a few days off, I'll feel better. And a week went by, 2 weeks went by, and I wasn't really feeling better. I actually started to feel a little bit worse. Started experiencing pain in new areas, like my wrist. I started feeling like I had tendonitis in my wrist, which I've had before. So I usually take some time off and it would go away. So it was weird that it was cropping up when I wasn't practicing. So I thought, okay, well, I'll have to be careful, stretch. I'll stretch my wrists more. Started doing a little more yoga, started just applying heat to the wrist, and a little heat to the shoulder that was bothering me. And, it was, again, taking a little bit longer to heal than I expected. Finally, as things got worse, I went to the doctor and found out that I had a repetitive strain injury called thoracic outlet syndrome. And it was really strange because I was treating everything incorrectly because it was all referred pain. So basically, thoracic outlet syndrome is when the first rib, and in my case also the collarbone, raised up out of position and started compressing a bundle of nerves, a complex of nerves near my collarbone, and these nerves control all the left arm, a little bit of the chest, and felt a little bit of problem in the back as well. So it was just spreading this pain out. I actually didn't feel pain specifically where the nerves are. Like I said, it felt first in my wrist, so far away. I just didn't even associate it with this area, so I wasn't really treating this area in any way. So I went to start physical therapy, and at this point, I hadn't been playing the violin for a month, and was really concerned. I was not able to get back into it. I didn't know how long this problem was going to last. So luckily, once I started physical therapy, I did start feeling some relief here and there. It was definitely kind of forward, backward, overdoing it a little bit or fatiguing the muscles. So it was definitely a struggle to get through. But anyway, starting about 3 weeks ago, I was allowed to start holding the violin on my shoulder for 5 minutes a day, no bow, just sit and hold and see how that felt after the rib finally lowered. It took a while to get these muscles to release and allow the rib to sit back down. Still experiencing some symptoms in different areas. The nerves still have to heal, but I was allowed to hold the violin. And just to make sure that it wasn't going to take me right back in and raise that rib back up and just start over, starting really slow, adding it. I was incredibly exhausted. It was so difficult to just hold the violin in place. I'd lost so much muscle. I'd lost a lot of stamina, and even though I wasn't necessarily feeling a flare of the nerves, just the muscles weren't there to support anything. And 15 days ago, I started actually playing the violin a little bit. Again, just 5 minutes at a time. I started with 2 sets of 5 minutes in the day, and I just did some basics. Started really slowly. Everything felt really funny. I had started moving my fingers without the bow, so I regained a little bit of motion there, because it was surprisingly difficult to just get the fingers down on the string. Any string, any finger, it was just, nothing wanted to work. I knew it here, I just couldn't get my body to do anything that I wanted it to do. So 15 days ago, I started a video diary documenting kind of parts of my practice so I could see where I was and see where I could work on, and also just to kind of keep track of how well I was progressing. So I thought I would share those days with you. Today is day 15, so I will start using the camera today. Up to this point, I've used my phone, which is really low quality, so sorry about that. It does start really rough, but I'll start using the camera, and that will help it to sound a little bit clearer. It'll be more educational for me too. But let's just get started and see how today goes, okay?